Hello, everybody. How are you? Hello, hello. So happy to have you. We're going to try this in a little bit of a different way today. Trying this out by using StreamYard. We'll see how I like it and see how it works for all of you and see how you all like it and if you're able to get on and see this well. But I just want to say hello. How are you? Happy Wednesday. I am so excited to talk about this topic of hard versus easy, difficult versus easy when it comes to weight loss and it comes to really hunkering down and losing weight. Because I know, listen, we all want to have weight loss be super, super easy. We want those pounds flying out of here easy and effortlessly. But today, I think it really makes a lot of sense to look at hard versus easy weight loss and where it's showing up and how it's showing up in your mind, because you could be inadvertently trying to make or inadvertently making, I should say, weight loss really, really difficult just by how you're mentally framing things. And I also want to make sure that I give you a hack today to help you really start to see how you might be making weight loss more difficult on yourself, the thoughts, and what you need to do to start shifting that right away. So, we have a lot to cover, and I have a lot I want to share with you today. So, there's been a ton of researchers. In fact, there was a research team at, let's see, University College of London. And they did research looking at, does the brain crave easy or hard? What happens? And what they did is they had two joysticks and they had each person play a game and they had to do things with these two joysticks in their hands. And all of a sudden, they made one joystick really hard to move. And what did people do? They went to the other joystick that was easier and left that one away. And then they kept doing the opposite. Well, so many studies like this have shown that we like things easier. We like things more effortless, right? So if you're feeling the same way, if we notice that people, if you notice that you say to yourself, I want weight loss easy. This is too hard. If you notice that you say to yourself, oh, it's just easier to go out tonight. It's just easier to just skip the gym. It's just easier. Now we're going to explore that. How many of you can relate to that? Share with me. Share with me. I want to see in chat. How many of you are making it harder or easier on your body to, are you telling yourself all the time that this is easy or this is just too hard? Is there in somewhere in the language of your brain when you go to lose weight, when you're trying to lose weight, how often are you making something hard? How often do you say weight loss is hard? This is difficult. I can't do this. I want something easy. How often are you using the language of easy or hard? I want you to think about that. Is it coming up a lot as you're trying to lose weight? You putting these two camps of easy or hard? Well, here's the good news. The good news is every single one of us are hardwired for easy. Teresa, you said a lot. It's easy. This is easy and is now and new. Right. Great, Paula. Awesome. So we are absolutely hardwired for ease, for simplicity, for joy, for pleasure. So if you're making yourself wrong, I don't want you to do that. That's not what this is about. It's not about making yourself wrong. It's about understanding how and where we can make some mental hacks and shifts to then change this. Because if you're telling this is challenging, I do take the easy road too often. Okay. And then what do? We feel badly, right, Sandy? We feel badly. Like I took the easy road and then look what happened. Now I can't do this. You see, I'm just lazy. And how many of you are then telling yourself because you like it easy that you're lazy? Right? It happens. So our brain, what it does is it tricks us into believing that that low hanging fruit is the best. It's the ripest. It's the most delicious. We like that easy way out. But what if we could shift a few things? So here's what I want you to think about. I want you to think about this for yourself in your life as you've been trying to lose weight. Do you think weight loss is easy or do you think weight loss is hard for you? And I want you to share with me. Do you think weight loss is easy or do you think weight loss is hard for you? And I want you to tell me why. Why do you think it's harder for you than maybe someone else? Because that's what in essence we're saying a lot of times, right? It's just harder for me. I get people every single day who come to me and be like, I know you've heard a lot of things. It's just harder for me because of hormones, because of genetics, because of a thought, because of abuse, because of trauma, because of a desire for sugar, because I'm a food addict, because I love sugar, because I have massive cravings, because. Yeah. And we play those hard thoughts out over and over all the time. And then we label the hard as our identity. I'm somebody who doesn't have a thyroid. It's harder for me. I could easily go there. It's harder for me. I'm in menopause. I'm going into menopause. I'm over the age of 45. So then we just start to create that as our identity. My whole family was big, so I'm big. And we start labeling ourselves in a way that says to our brain, just not going to happen. Let's take an easier way out because you know what? We've given up on this on some unconscious level. But there have also been times where weight loss has been easy for you, where weight loss has just kind of happened. And it may have been a week or 2 weeks or something like that. But what was a time where maybe weight loss was just really easy and it just fell off your body? And the times I see so many people sharing with me that it's been easier is for a wedding. And they just said, I didn't even think about it. And I was just so focused on the wedding that I lost weight. Or you have a crush on somebody and you're like, I have this crush on this person. And all of a sudden you want to be cute and you want to look good. And you're not thinking about food. You're thinking about feeling good, looking good, presenting yourself in a beautiful way. Or maybe you have an event for your kids or at work that you're like excited to get ready for and look good for. And it's 2 months out and you're like, oh, I'm going to make this. I want to look so good for this. Or perhaps you've gotten sick. Maybe you guys know this. You've gotten sick and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I have no appetite. And the weight loss just starts happening easily. Or you fall in love and you're madly in love. And at the beginning you're like, oh, I can't eat. I don't care about food. I care about my new love. Right? So there have been times where it's really easy for you too. So if it's ever been easy, then the good news is that ease can be in there. That ease is part of this equation of hard versus easy, good versus bad. We have both sides of the coin. Weight loss can be easier too. But we have to move from thinking it's hard and it's challenging, it's difficult, and finding proof all the time why it's that to moving into something else. And here's the thing I want you to move into. It's been very well researched. Research is very clear in the neuroscience realm that if your brain believes that the cost to act is too high, it's not going to take action. If the cost to act is easy, is fun, is results focused, you will much more likely take consistent action. So it's not about motivation. It's not about being happy. It's about creating systems in your life where the cost to act is easy, fun, and enjoyable. So let me give you an example of what I mean by that. So if you think working out feels like hell, You want to do it. You tell yourself, I know I should do it. And you've been telling yourself that story for a long time. Or maybe you were great at working out and now it's just been hard to get back into. And you want to move your body, but you keep telling yourself, oh, I just don't want to do it. It just seems so hard to put on my shoes and go work out. You focus on the hard, or you focus on, I'm going to feel stupid. I'm going to feel like the biggest person in the class. How many of you have said that, right? I don't want to go because I'm going to feel dumb. I'm going to look dumb. It's going to be hard for me. Yeah, because what are you focusing on? The hard, the difficulty. You're focusing on the wrong things. See, people who love movement, who say, oh my gosh, Marna, movement is not an issue for me. I love, love, love it so much. I love it because I feel good. I look good, because it gives me energy, because it's my stress relief, because it's my therapy. They're not telling me I love lifting things up and down repeatedly for 40 minutes, right? They're not telling me that they love sweating because they're talking about the end result, the fun, the joy, the benefits. So when the cost to act is joyful, is fun, is pleasurable, and you're focusing on those, so instead of focusing on the pain, instead you focused on, oh my God, I'm going to feel so good. I'm going to have so much fun meeting my friend up, going for a long walk. I'm going to have so much fun. I'm going to feel so good afterwards and proud of myself. And I can't wait to see my stomach start to shrink in. And I'm going to pay attention every single week. I'm going to kind of take my measurements and I'm going to see how my body's doing in my clothes and with my measurements. All of a sudden, you take it from focused on the act, which feels hard, to the pleasure of the end result, of the joy of what you get out of that experience. Then the cost becomes much, much more pleasurable. And when the cost of taking action is more pleasurable than the act, you will take action. Okay? So let's take this and look at this when it comes to something in your life that you might be making painful. So I want you to think about, what are you telling yourself is hard? What are you telling yourself is hard to do in order to lose weight? What's difficult? What's challenging? What are the words that you're telling your brain that's hard to do? Is it hard to eat when you're hungry? Is it hard to stop from overeating? Is it hard to avoid the candy that your kids have all over the house from Halloween? Is it hard to go work out? What are you telling yourself is hard? Hard to cook dinner? See, that's one of the things that I'm really changing. And maybe some of you can relate. I kept telling myself that it was hard. I hated dinners. And you probably heard me say this too. For any of you in my inner circle, you probably heard me say, I hate making dinner. I hate making dinner, because it became really painful for me. The pain of one child liking it, or both children not liking it, and them just having this thing and all this drama around it kind of took the joy and pleasure out of cooking for me at night. But then I was making it about them and not me. And what I found is through COVID, one of the pleasures we had was, since we were all kind of stuck in the house, it was kind of fun to be like, oh, let's go out to eat, like go through the drive-through and grab something. And that pattern kind of built and built and built, because I started programming in the pleasure and the ease of going out and going through a drive-through over cooking. And many of you can relate to this, right? Where the pleasure of going out to eat, the pleasure of just running through, the ease of running through the drive-through outweighed the painful hard of cooking, because everybody in my family could get what they want, and then I didn't have to deal with it. But the truth was, my body was suffering. My head was suffering. And that was not what I wanted. I don't want to have a family where we're eating out as much as we were eating out. So I made the commitment recently to say, okay, I got to come up with a plan. How can I make this easier? If the cost to cook is easier than going out, I know I will start to cook, right? That was the mental framework I was coming from. So What did I do? I came up with a plan, and here's my plan. I cook 2 meals, 2 big meals a week that are very veggie, whole food, real food heavy. It gives me enough for 2 other nights. That's 4 nights. One night, we're going to do salads, soups, or sandwiches. Everybody can pick salad, soup, sandwich, whatever they want. Okay, so now we're at 5 nights. One night a week, usually Saturday night, we go out. Sunday night is usually pizza night. There we go. There are my evenings. I took something that was painful of thinking about making dinner 7 nights a week or 6 nights a week or even 5 nights a week and brought it down to 2 nights. That to me is doable. That to me is pleasurable. That makes me feel good that I'm getting a whole slew of veggies and real whole foods in my body. Then the other night after could be a leftover. 2 of those nights will be leftover nights, right? If I make a big meal, then I can do leftovers, or I can put it in a taco shell with those veggies that I've made or whatnot. I can adjust it, but the food is made. If I want to make a few adjustments, fine. If I want to take those veggies that I've made and make a big soup, fine, I can. But 2 nights, 2 nights a week. Now I get to cook, and that feels doable. And that makes 4 meals. The other night becomes soup, salad, sandwich. Everybody can just make what they want. Hallelujah. Then I turned the thing of overwhelm, hard, difficult into ease and pleasure. What are you doing that's telling your brain that it's hard and difficult and you can't? And the key is using this mental hack to make the cost to act easy, fun, and results focused. You know what the result is going to be for me? Is I'm going to feel really proud of myself for feeding myself good, healthy food and my family. That feels good. Will that show up on the scale? Probably. Does that feel good? Yes. So I really want you all to think about this. One of the things we're going to do in the 8 weeks, 8 pounds down, that starts next Monday inside of my membership community, we're going to look at the things that are hard. But if you want to do it on your own, I want you to just write out right now, what are you making difficult about losing weight? What feels hard? Is it cooking? Is it eating a certain way? Is it removing certain things? And how can you start to then create a plan to make it easier? And essentially, the 8 weeks, 8 pounds down, we're going to look at living in that plan of making it easier and so much more fun. Because when you live from there, guess what? People who work out and love it, they're not fighting with themselves. They may have days that they're like, I don't want to work out, but I know I'll feel so much better and I'm just going to do it. That they show up for themselves. People who want to eat healthier, they created enjoyment out of the salads, out of real whole foods, out of feeling good, recognizing, finding tastes and textures and spices that make their foods taste delicious and healthy. Not by eating the same plain thing and going, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this. No. So, is weight loss hard? There are moments, but it's mostly hard because our head makes it harder for us. It makes it more complicated. It makes it more difficult. It wants to take us out of the game. It says something else is easier, better, bright, shiny object over there. Let me try that. But the truth is if you can get this skill and you really dial this one skill I'm sharing with you today, just this one skill will change your body and change anything that you're telling yourself around being hard and make it easier for you. So I would recommend you writing down all the ways you're telling yourself that weight loss is difficult, challenging, and hard. Look at it. Know what it is. If you're not sure, just keep a piece of paper when you notice yourself being like, oh, I don't want to do that. That seems so hard. I don't have energy for that. It just seems like that's going to be so time consuming, difficult. Write all of those things down. Those are the things that need to be tackled in order for you to lose weight and keep your weight off. Because some of you are bouncing from like, I got motivation here and I'm ready to go. And then I don't feel motivated. And then I feel motivated. And then I don't feel motivated. Motivation is not consistent. Putting in practices is what makes consistency. Putting in practices then that you love and you enjoy and that are doable and realistic for your life creates the consistent, lasting weight loss. And we all get tripped up, just like I did with COVID, with going like, you know what? It's just so fun. I've been stuck in the house all day. Yeah, let's go drive through the drive-through. Let's go get this. Let's go to Subway and grab something. Let's whatever. But there's a cost that I was having that I was paying for that ease. And now I'm willing and open, and I took the time to find a solution. And then what I'm doing, because I know I've got 2 nights that I'm cooking, 2 big meals that I'm cooking, right? That I want veggie heavy and protein heavy for me and my family. But that's what works the best in my body. So then what I do is when I find recipes, I can just put them in behind, like I can just start clipping them and put them in a little binder. And then I can go, that was disgusting. That was good. That was not good. Make more of this. And then I will have 10, 20 recipes is all I really need for the entire year because I'm going to do some repeats over and over. That's it. And so the other night, what I found was it was so nice to have the crock pot going. Did it take some time? Yes, but I felt so good knowing last night was so easy that I still have leftovers for lunch, that I have leftovers that I can make a soup with. I have all these leftovers. And here we are on Wednesday, and I've made all these things. And my kids happen to love rice. So in the rice cooker, there was rice going. There was stuff going in the Instapot. There was a big thing of veggies going. Got it all. But in 2 nights, that's all I have to do now. Very doable. Okay? So if you are telling yourself that this weight loss business is hard for you, knock it off. It's time to change that. It doesn't have to be that way. How can I make it easy? What can I do to make this doable? What can I do to make this fun? What am I willing to do today to be healthy or to increase my health, improve my health easily and effortlessly? How can I fit this in? If that means ordering food from a place that you love, like HelloFresh or some of these places, do it a couple nights a week. Make it doable and easy for you. And stop with the guilt. Stop telling yourself it's bad or I shouldn't order this because I really should be cooking it all. Stop. Many of you are working, momming, doing a million things at the same time. Let's make this doable and easy for you, but let's do it in a way where your brain and your body get the benefit. Because your brain is always going to look for the easiest way, but it's going to avoid pain. And whatever it thinks is painful, it's going to want to avoid and push you into ease. If it thinks that walking the dog is painful, it's not going to do it. But if it thinks, oh my God, this is the time I listen to my favorite podcast of Marna. I'm just kidding. Or whatever. Like if this is the time you listen to your favorite podcast, you learn, you breathe, you relax, or maybe you go walk somewhere, you grab a Starbucks, just a little coffee or something. Then you walk back and all of a sudden it's this pleasurable event. You're gonna want to do it again and again and again. Okay? So get ready because I really want you all to start thinking about what are the things you're doing that's hard? What are you telling yourself that's difficult, challenging, that you can't do as it relates to weight loss? What feels difficult? And what are the thoughts that you're telling yourself that are making it difficult for you? Okay? And then come Monday, if you want to join me in my membership community, maybe I'll give you the link to that. Then you can sign up and we're going to do it 8 weeks, 8 pounds down, focusing on, thanks, Susan, focusing on We're going to focus on the hard, the things you're telling yourself that are hard or difficult through the holidays, the things you tell yourself you can't do or they're difficult to do. I don't know how to do all this while I'm so busy. Okay. Then we need to shift your thinking and start to look at this one area, which is what? We got to make the cost to act easier on yourself over the pain. Because right now, if you're trying to lose weight and you've been having some difficulty with that, it just means that you're living more in the pain and you're seeing the pain coming up over and over and over. And it's not to say that it is painful when we work really hard to lose weight and we're not seeing those results. But are you looking for other ways to see the results of your work? Okay, I want you to hear this. Are you looking for other ways to see the results of the hard work you're putting in besides just the scale? Is your mood changing? Is your energy shifting? Or is your skin glowing? Are you getting stronger? Is your body fat decreasing? Are your clothes falling off of you? Are people noticing it even though you don't see it represented on the scale? We've got to look and train our brain to see evidence that what we're doing is awesome, that this work we're putting in is actually worthwhile. It means something, it matters. But if you're just keep telling yourself, well, that's not working, this is hard, and I can't do this, and I'm stuck, and then that's the conversation you're going to get out of you. The results are going to come out of you from that place. And that's why if you're doing that, if you're going back and forth, up and down with your weight, we just need to get you more consistent in some of your actions and your thoughts so that you can create what it is that you desire. Now, weight loss is not a straight line. I tell you guys this all the time, right? Weight loss is not a straight line. It's like this. It's kind of like waves. We're going to go down a little bit, up a little bit, down, da, 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 da. But we want to see that progression going down. And I know so many of you are seeing that. You're seeing you go down and you pop up a little bit and then you go down further. And that's why you're 30, 40, 60, 80 pounds lighter, many of you, because you've done this. But then all of a sudden your head will pop up with something is difficult, right? It does that. Oh, I'm so busy. I can't focus on myself. I can't focus on listening to my body. I can't focus on what Marna's saying. I can't do the work, right? I'm so busy. Whoa. Don't make that hard. How can you do a little of what I'm saying or a little action and a little work? We do that. We'll put things in to just be busy as a way to just keep ourselves safe and stop us from taking action or move us out of action. And we've gotten in a habit of that, of like getting into action and then popping ourselves out. Getting into action, popping ourselves out. It's almost like we get so successful, we start doing great, and then we can't handle it. And then it's like, oh, got to self-sabotage because I can't be successful. I'm not successful. I can't be great. I can't look awesome in my body. So let me just throw myself for a loop for a few minutes here. And then you get back in the zone, and then things are always going to happen. There's never a good time. There's always busyness. Always. It's about making the time and just choosing what you can do that's will fit into your life. But you've got to act from a place of knowing that this is going to be easy and fun and have the results ahead of you. You've got to know what the results are that you want. Okay? So when you focus on working out because you want to feel good for the rest of the day, because it makes you feel alive, then focus on that. If you want to eat real whole foods because that's going to give you the energy or the weight loss or the glowing skin or the digestion that you know is amazing, that goes well beyond weight loss, focus on that. It's not to say you can't have your kids' candy. It's just about focusing more on what it is that you really, really want and stop making it hard. Stop telling yourself it's difficult. Gretchen, you said what's hard for you is snacking. Okay. So is it the act of snacking that's difficult? Like, oh, I feel like I want a snack, or what it is that you eat in terms of snacking that is quote unquote hard. And they're two different things. So let's just assume that you've been snacking and you're trying not to, right? You're trying to avoid the snacking. Well, can you see yourself being somebody who easily can move through, like somebody's eating or whatever gets triggered, that you can easily move through your triggers? That nothing's gonna, like, you're like, "Psh, I'm somebody who's like easily able to do it. And here's why, because I get to look amazing. And the first thing in the morning when I wake up after a day of avoiding any of that snacking, I feel amazing. And I'm proud of myself. And I know day on day on day on day, it's gonna make a difference for my body. I'm gonna look hot. I'm gonna look good, right? And then you start to look at, okay, why are you snacking? What's the snacking? What emotionally are you getting from the snacking that you could get from something else? What is that act of snacking giving you? See, you do feel good when you don't snack. Yeah. So, what if you were to create the identity of somebody who feels good when you don't snack? And it feels really great to be somebody who does other things. Like maybe you say, I'm somebody who eats 3 meals a day, and I love that. And the rest of the time, what do you want to be doing? How do you want to be feeling? What do you want to be focusing on? Some of this is about creating a new identity that creates with you what it is you want to see. Do you see in your mind's eye yourself being amazing and having 3 meals a day and moving on? And when other people are eating, that you're like, woohoo, good for you. I'm staying cute, little and thin. You eat your little heart out, sweetie. I'm not hungry. I feel great. What if you could be that person who feels proud of yourself for when you walk away from a snack, who feels grateful, who feels stronger, and the more you do it, every time you do it, you feel stronger and more capable and better about yourself. Wouldn't that be awesome? Yeah. So we can use a lot of times what happens. Remember, the habit loop is about taking an urge or a trigger, the action, and the result. Okay. And remember, a lot of times, many of you are not recognizing the end part. You're not recognizing the positive that's occurring by taking the action, the new action, engaging in that new action of not overeating, not late night eating, not snacking, not over consuming, having some great quality foods that work really well in your body. But you're not recognizing it. So it never feels like it's good enough. Have you ever dated somebody where you just, or worked for somebody and you're just like, you just never feel like you're good enough? That's a fun friend to have. That's a fun partner to have. That's a fun boss to have. No, it sucks. But a lot of you are doing that every single day inside of your head. I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. What if you actually turn it around? What if you spent all that time telling yourself that you weren't good enough and flipped it and just practiced it for a week? Recognizing, oh my God, this is what I did really well. This is something else I did really well. This is what I did. And part of the 8 weeks, 8 pounds down, we're going to do that. I'm going to give you exactly what I've been doing in terms of my own personal writing. I want to share with you some of the writing prompts that I've been giving myself to help me see the good that I'm actually taking. Because I know I can be like, oh, and I didn't do this and I didn't do that. But I got these other 40 things done for the day. But I'll focus on those 3 things that I didn't do well. Why? We got to stop it. So I've been creating some writing prompts for me, some journaling that I've been doing where it reminds me to see the good, because I know when you're creating a new habit and new patterns in our lives around slimming down, the end pattern, the end habit creation that we need is the result, the joy, the pleasure, the reward at the end. You need to feel that reward. Why is it that so many people, when they say, would you rather have a tiny raise or be rewarded with so many, have your boss give you all these accolades and love and see how amazing and recognition for all that you do? A majority of the people will say, I'd take the recognition over a tiny raise. I take the awards. I take the recognition. I take the why? Because it feels good. And if weight loss doesn't feel good, then you're going to keep searching for something that will feel good. It'll be another program for a hope that it will feel good. Another program, another thing, another person, another, right? But what if you gave yourself the feel good every single day around what you're working on, what you're creating, and what you want to do that will make weight loss easier on you? And that was my hope, is that if every night I took out this journal that I created for myself and I wrote out how I did for the day, like in terms of recognizing the good, the reward, the things I'm proud of, sets me up going to bed going, yeah, girl. Yeah, girl, you're awesome. Let's keep going. And it sets me up to feel really powerful. And it also sets me up to be successful, to avoid the snacking at night. Because what I do is I do it in a way before I would ever have any of those cravings for food. I'm already telling myself I'm awesome. I'm awesome. And because I'm telling myself that, I don't want to eat late at night. Okay. There's all these amazing ways we can hack into your brain, hack into your brain's natural desire to just want to be lazy and pleasurable and gluttonous. And there's nothing wrong with that. There is a great place for all of that. But when it comes to weight and weight loss, if you want to lose weight, we can hack your brain by knowing the neuroscience, by knowing neurobiology, by knowing how the brain operates and works, and how it feels, and how to use our thoughts and our feelings to create the actions we want. Okay. So I am so blessed to have all of you here. I am so grateful to have all of you joining me. If you want to, so as part of my membership community, what I do is I create courses inside of there. That's what I do. Okay. And one of the things that I'm doing, and I did it last year that everybody loved, was I created the 8 weeks, 8 pounds down. I thought, you know what? Why spend the rest of the year worrying about weight gain, and just let's focus on losing weight and feeling great and setting ourselves up to think through and process through and become results focused in a powerful way. So that's what this is about. This is about me guiding you over 8 weeks to help you look at your thinking, look at your actions, and look at helping you do the mind work to get through the holiday season, losing weight, feeling better, and navigating it in a way that you'll wake up in 2021 or 2022, I should say. And you'll wake up in 2022 and go, I just kicked some major booty over the holiday season. That was awesome. I'm feeling real good about myself. That's the point. So I'd love to have you in my membership community. It's so reasonable, you guys, right now. As I'm building out a really new, robust website and membership application for all of you, it's $37 a month. I mean, really? That's less than $10 a week. Okay. So if you join in now, it stays $37 a month for as long as you want. That is not how it's going to stay, because I can't afford to keep it that low. But for all of you who join now, awesome. Get the benefit of it. And you're going to go through the growing pains of me going and changing to a really robust membership community. You can let me know what you like, what you don't like, and we'll kind of get out any of those kinks. And there we go. But you should join me on Monday. It's going to be fun. Let's look at dropping 8 pounds over the next 8 weeks. We're getting damn near close. All right. I am sending you so much stinking love. I love you all so much. I'm so grateful to see so many familiar faces in here, to see some new faces, which I love so much, to having those of you who are on my broadcast who are listening to this. Thank you so much for being here. And like always, here's what will happen. I will post this to my podcast tomorrow. So if you need to listen to it again, it'll be available for you on my podcast tomorrow. And thanks so much. We're almost at 400,000 listens on my podcast. So thanks for continuing to love it, listen to it, share it, spread the word. I really appreciate all of you so much. All right, everybody. Mwah! Have an amazing, amazing rest of the day. Big hugs. Bye, everyone.